What is up, YouTube? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2018 and Baek Battles. Today, we got the Mega Glalie team once again with Mega Glalie, Tapu Bulu, Magnezone, Landis, Milotic, and Incineroar. If you haven't been checking out the previous episodes, highly recommend go checking them out. But we're going to be playing some games. So, Glalie, in my opinion, has been a weird Mega to use. I feel like it's the problem with Mega Ampharos. It has a lot of bad matchups, so you're not going to bring it most of the time. So that's what I'm feeling with Mega Glalie right now, because I've been playing a few games with this team, and I haven't really brought the Glalie. I really haven't brought the Glalie. Like, I think out of the last, I probably played like 5 battles. I've only brought it once or twice, and even then, it just didn't do much. So it's been really difficult to use. Of course, Mega Glalie does have pretty poor stats. For offense, it's like 120, I think, attack and special attack around the board. 100 speed isn't impressive either. A refrigerate isn't that great. It doesn't even get like access to hyper voice or anything. It's pretty much forced to run physical, although we're running special just because one, it's around worlds and I don't have time to go for a happiness thing, and two, I think free try is actually useful because I think it hits more things than a physical frustration or like -1 that you're gonna do, because of the fact that it just doesn't really hit much. Like, I feel Glalie has been a poor Mega Evolution overall. We're just using it for fun though. I am showcasing it, but I don't think Glalie is one of the best Mega Evolutions you can use. It is pretty poor for a Mega Evolution, but hopefully it proves me wrong. I mean, it's done some work so far, so hopefully maybe it can be brought to a few more battles, and hopefully it can pick up some wins for us, but only time will tell. It's taking quite a while to find our first game, so we'll be right back with the first game of today's episode. Alright, we got Space David from Mexico as our first opponent, 1547 rating. As our first opponent, Heliolisk. Heliolisk, Charizard, Landers, Como, Snorlax, and Slowbro. Really fascinating team, and of course, I have a bad matchup because I actually don't even like Heliolisk. My team doesn't even like Heliolisk, huh? Oh, this is looking pretty bad. I think I go Landis Milotic, but the problem is if Slowbro plus Snorlax leads, I'm in a lot of trouble. I want to bring Glalie, but the problem is I don't know if I can, realistically, because of the fact that, yes, it does deal well, but I think I need Bulu and Incineroar so I can cover the Snorlax mode. Yep. So I think I'm going to go Landorus Milotic with Bulu plus Incineroar in the back, and my opponent leads Slowbro plus the Snorlax. We're going to have a tough time. We're gonna have a tough time. So it's 2 potential Mega Evolutions, but Charizard's definitely a Mega Evolution in this game, I would assume. And Slowbro could be Mega. It could be like a berry set. It could have like a lot of different items. Like Slowbro can have a lot of different items. Let's see what's gonna be leading here. Charizard Como leads. Okay. I do have Icy Wind. I will go for the Icy Wind. Looks like my opponent's going to fast mode, unless my opponent does have Snorlax and Slowbro in the back, because I feel like if you bring both, it's very effective, because you can force me to target one, but the other can set up after my team is weakened by the other. So we'll go for the Icy Wind. I could go for damage in the Como. I do kind of just want to throw off a Stone Edge in the Charizard, but it's kind of obvious. I don't think you would risk Charizard here. I think I just U-turn the Como slot. As Charizard's going to Mega. So is it just going on the offense? When you're risking this potential Scarf Landers for like Rock Slider or something? I would hope Charizard protects, but by the way my opponent's playing it, I don't feel like it's protecting here. Okay, it's protecting. Okay. I was just about to say, I don't think you risk that. Like, I don't think you risk that at all. We'll get a U-turn off into the Como. Then we get an Icy Wind off, and then we'll aim to get another Icy Wind off. Yeah. So we'll go my Incineroar here. And let's see what my opponent does. Because if I gain this one Icy Wind off in a Como and then gain the other, means my Milotic will outspeed for the rest of the game, which is nice. We are going to see the Z move come out from the Como, so we're going to be for a little bit of a cut. So we'll be right back after the Z move animation does happen. Crits my Incineroar. Oh man. My day hasn't been that great because when I was playing with this team earlier, I did get crit a lot. So Yeah, it looks like it's still continuing. We get an Icy Wind off into the Como slot. Okay, we do connect, so we do get that Icy Wind off. I mean, that... Okay, it's gonna depend. I don't think Incineroar is too valuable, but if that Snorlax is in the back, I do need that knockoff, I think. If it is Slowbro plus Snorlax in the back. So, we'll go for the Icy Wind once again. Solar Beam shouldn't be able to knock me out, but I feel like Como does protect here. So I think faking out the Charizard and just Icy Winding. And even if Como doesn't protect, it can go for Clang Scales at the worst, but it's not going to do too much damage to me. But yeah, it looks like it's going to go for that Clang Scales. Okay. Should proc my Berry on Milotic? I don't know, it's pretty weak. Yeah, it's barely going to miss my Berry proc onto Milotic. We will get another Icy Wind off, and this Como, its physical defense is getting pretty low, but it's... Yeah, I don't have a physical attacker other than my Incineroar, so that's not exactly that great. Although I did get the speed reduction onto this Como perfectly. And right here, we'll go for the recover with my Milotic. Do I save Incineroar is the question? Man, that crit sucks for me. I guess I'll attempt a Flare Blitz into Como. We'll see. I'll go for the recover here. I hope Clang Scales plus Solar Beam isn't enough to pick up the knockout. We're going to see Tailwind come out from the opponent's Charizard. Okay. So, what? Como's back at 200 something after the Icy Wind. Okay. Charizard's still -1. Scarf Landers, I think, might still outspeed the Charizard. I think it is worth going Landers here. And going for a Stone Edge into Charizard and an Icy Wind. Oh, I'm trying to think of what else can go wrong here. Because I've taken a lot of damage so far. I gotta hope I outspeed the Charizard with Stone Edge, because I think that's my only play. I don't have another play. I gotta outspeed Charizard. Charizard's gonna retreat. Okay, so at least I forced the Charizard out. Landers is gonna come out, which gives me a +2, which isn't bad at all, actually, because I do get the boost. But the problem is, I might knock out the Landers, and it gives my opponent a free switch back into Charizard. At least Clang Scale should proc a Berry right here, and it won't knock out my Landers, so I get to save my Landers at least. Stone Edge gonna come out into the Landers, and I think it comes down to that item on the Landers. Clang Scale is gonna come out. Milotic does survive. Como's defense lowered again. Okay, not the worst still, I guess. We do get the Icy Wind off. It is +2. It will be able to knock out the Landorus. Yeah, and it slows down the Como again. Okay. Trying to think. Charizard comes out. Solar Beam and Clang Scales is pretty obvious. Is there a counterplay? I guess Bulu. Unless you don't have Solar Beam. A Heliolisk is going to come out though. Oh. That's a scary Pokemon to deal with. 2 turns of Tailwind left. Plays to protect my Milotic. Go for switching to Bulu, I think. Get the terrain up. Because I think Como's out of Icy Wind range anyway. So I'll go into Bulu here. Como might be in range of Hornleech, which actually could be pretty big. So let's see here. Because if I can knock out the Como, maybe there's a shot. Hyper Voice. Not even Thunderbolt. Okay. This is solar power boosted, I would assume. So how much damage is it going to do to Bulu? Oh my lord. It's Life Orb plus that. Jeez, that's damage. Sunlight fades though, so it won't have that firepower again. Although my opponent still has the option to Thunderbolt here, I think you do Thunderbolt and you go for Flamethrower into Bulu. I think that would make the most sense to me though. Cause Hyper Voice would not knock out Bulu. Unless you just try to Hyper Voice, double up my Milotic. I think I do Icy Wind, or do I Scald? No, I Icy Wind here, I think. I feel like my opponent's just gonna go for the hyper voice and clang scales again. I feel like that's what my opponent's gonna try to do. But we're gonna see the Como retreat actually. Wow, it did have the boost, but it looks like my opponent preserves it. Charizard's gonna come in, which means what are you gonna do with your Heliolisk? Are you attacking with hyper voice, or are you just gonna go for the Thunderbolt, or just hyper voice probably? Yeah, hyper voice. Okay, that's gonna do some damage. Doesn't knock out my Lodic, and I will be able to get an Icy Wind off. Okay, that's something. I do connect both. Man, if I had Rock Slide normally, I think this game would have been just one. I don't know if Heliolisk goes down to Stone Edge. Because I do want to go for the Stone Edge play, I think. Oh, wait. After that Solar Power, I might. We'll try here. Tailwind does peter out for my opponent. It's not in range of Scald, unfortunately. That's the one thing. This Charizard's not in range of Scald. We will go Landers here. Do I just go for the Earth Power? Maybe going for the Earth Power is the play? I'm definitely going for Recover here. You know, I think Earth Power might be the play in the Heliolisk. Although, I think you should sack your Como, but it looks like my opponent's not. Okay. I was thinking maybe my opponent sacks Como to save the Heliolisk, because Heliolisk might be more useful. Now I get a Recover off. I guess it's not the end of the world, but it's still looking pretty bad. I'm going to have to stall out this Sun eventually, because this Solar Beam's going to hurt. Yeah, Solar Beam. Oh, wow. My opponent actually just went straight for the Solar Beam. Okay. How much does this do to my Lodic? That's a big question. My Lodic able to tank that. I think it will tank another 2. Whew, boy. I think it'll tank a Clang Scales at least. Como going to come out. I don't think Earth Power knocks out Como at that range. If it does, I would be in a fantastic spot. Let's test it. I'm going to go for the Earth Power and Recover here. Because I'm pretty sure I live Clang Scales plus the Solar Beam anyway onto my Lodic. And if you protect Como and go for Heat Wave, I get an extra turn to protect stall out the Sun. So Earth Power going to come out into Como. Does pick up the knockout. Okay, that's pretty big actually. Okay, my Lodic can stall this out as long as I don't jinx it, get crit. Don't jinx it, get crit. Let's find out. Heat Wave. Okay, perfect. So Landers is going to go down. But that is fine because all I have to do is stall out the Sun and I do win the game. Yeah. So yeah, it was looking pretty bad for us, but luckily I think my opponent made a few misplays. We will go for the Protect here. Yeah, Protect. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I can Protect or Recover. Either one works. I don't think Crit Solar Beam knocks me out. Ooh, Tailwind. Does that change anything though? Not really. I guess if I recovered and then protected, that would have been better. Yeah, I think I liked Recover better. Solar Beam is still, it just comes down to a crit basically. It really does come down to crit because my opponent can't win without it. Let's not jinx myself. I'm not even gonna look. I'm gonna tell by listening. So Solar Beam is coming out into my Milotic. How much damage? It does 100 normally. I didn't get crit. Good. Ooh, but Milotic barely took that. I should have recovered the last turn. Recover was the play. Sun fades. And we just go for Scald and a Charizard. And that will be able to wrap up the game. Yeah. Because Heat Wave misses, but even a crit Heat Wave wouldn't have knocked out my Milotic without the Sun. A Scald will be able to finish out the Charizard, and we will be able to win the game. So I feel like my opponent could have won. I feel like my opponent definitely could have won. I was not gonna risk the Stone Edge in the Heliolisk. Even though Stone Edge might have been the better play overall, it was just I feel like it was not worth it. I definitely don't feel like it was worth it. Yeah. I don't think risking the Stone Edge in the Heliolisk. I think Earth Power to deal with the Heliolisk was fine. And then my opponent not protecting Como, like, I feel like my opponent just kind of got sloppy at the end there. So we were just able to pull out the win. But able to pick up that win. Luckily, my Milotic coming through. This team doesn't have a Como answer. So we're very fortunate that we were able to get through. Because my best Como answer is Glalie. And since we're not physical Glalie, we barely do damage to Como. Like Freeze Dry, I think it does about 60%. but 60% is not a knockout. That's the thing. I don't even know. I feel like physical return or frustration might get it. Also, another problem with Glalie is it doesn't get double edge, since it does get double edge technically, but it's a move tutor move. Why? Give it double edge. If it got double edge, it would actually be so much more viable in my opinion. It would actually be levels higher because double edge actually does damage compared to return or frustration, which is adequate damage. So, Game Freak, if you want to see Glalie use a bit more, give it double edge. Give it double edge refrigerate. It's strong. And yes, I could go back to my explosion roots. But I don't feel like it's worth going for explosion when every single time they're just going to switch into Incineroar, get the Intimidate off. What's the point of going for explosion? That's going to do what? 30% to an Incineroar after an Intimidate? It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it to me. But it's taking quite a while to find their second game. We'll be right back with the second game of today's episode. We got, I don't even know how to pronounce this name, 1500 rated player from Mexico though, as our second opponent. Double Dragon, Salazzle, Muck. What is this team? Okay, but it's Double Dragon. We got Glalie. Glalie, you're coming. You're coming in this game. All right. Glalie able actually to do some stuff. I like Glalie. Do I like Bulu? I don't really like Bulu. No, I don't like Bulu. I like Glalie. I like Milotic. Do I like Landers? I think Landers can do some work, but I'd rather have Magnezone because I'd rather have a Steel switching for a Gardevoir in case it is a Mega Gardevoir. So there are 3 potential Mega Evolutions on my opponent's team. Could be the Gardevoir, the Salamence, or the Garchomp. I think Salamence and Gardevoir are most likely the Megas, and Garchomp probably carrying a different item. But who knows? We will go Milotic here. Milotic, Glalie, or do I go Glalie Incineroar? That wouldn't be that bad either. But I'm worried about Salazzle lead, so I need to get rid of Salazzle. Salazzle's a really big threat to my team, since I'm not bringing the Landers. Yeah. Let's see how this is going to work. So, could be a scary team up ahead, but hopefully Glalie able to do some work. We got a few Pokemon weak to Freeze Dry. Freeze Dry is looking pretty good. I could set up Substitute. Ninetales can't touch me, so I'm okay with that. And, yeah. Like, Ninetales can go for Blizzard or Freeze Dry, but it can't do much damage. And Aurora Veil. I don't think you're living the Freeze Dry through Aurora Veil. Milotic, Glalie, Gardevoir, Muck. That's not a pretty lead for me. Trace is my competitive, which sucks for me, but okay. I'm still going to go Magnezone for Glalie. I'm definitely going to retreat my Glalie here, go into Magnezone, and just Scald the Muck. I need damage on the Muck. And although Scald damage might be better on the Gardevoir, but if I can get a burn, that would be more useful a long time. So we'll go for the Magnezone switch and Scald here. It's not Mega Gardevoir, or it's not Megaing. It's Calm Mind. I don't even know what to think. That's actually a really nice animation. I like how Gardevoir poses when it goes for Calm Mind. Knockoff going to come out targeting on my Milotic. Getting rid of the berry, understandable. That does so much damage. Just protect Flash Cannon, I guess. I mean, unless my opponent has like Fire Punch, Muck shouldn't be able to do much damage to me. Or the Gardevoir has Focus Blast. Let's talk about this because I can't tell. These teams are always scary because we don't know what they do. Protect Milotic. Psyshock into Milotic, okay. And a Flash Cannon. That should do 50%. Yeah, okay, perfect. And the knockoff, yeah. That's not going to do much. I don't have a Z. Yep. And what I can do is, since this doesn't look like Mega Gardevoir, I'm just going to go into Incineroar here and Flash Cannon the Gardevoir. If my opponent decides to go for a Psyshock again into the Milotic. The problem is this Gardevoir does have competitive, so if it does target my Magnezone, it is going to hurt. But since my Magnezone was mainly for this Gardevoir, I think I'll take that trade if I can knock out the Gardevoir with my Magnezone, because I don't think +4 Psyshock will be able to knock out my Magnezone. And gain this Intimidate and pressure onto this Muck, and keeping Milotic alive is definitely big, because Milotic is my form of speed control in this game. So competitive, Gardevoir, and Intimidate this Muck. Let's find out what my opponent does. It's going to be, it is Mega Gardevoir. This is Hyper Voice. This is absolutely huge. If it's Hyper Voice. Also, I don't know if I KO with Flash Cannon now. Psyshock does target Incineroar, which is good. And Flash Cannon, I don't know. Gardevoir gets increased special defense with the boost. It does KO though. Okay. That could have been really bad if Gardevoir was able to survive that turn. Disable. Wait. This person has all the tricks. Okay, I don't really need Flash Cannon anymore. Okay, so I'll definitely take that trade. I don't think it was a bad trade for me. Salamence going to come out here. Okay, so it's not Mega Salamence. We know that. Not really worried about the Muck. I think I could just fake out Gigavolt Havoc, the Salamence, but... Man, I want my Glalie to shine. Like, Glalie shining is what I want to aim for in this game. Well, I can't let my... Okay, you're not going to Poison Jab my Magnezone. I think Glalie is a fine play here. Going to Glalie. Go into Glalie, fake out, because I think you're just going to knock off my Incineroar, get rid of its item. Or you're going to switch out Muck, which is definitely fine too. Into Garchomp. Oh. This gets interesting. The unfortunate part is since I'm not max speed Glalie, I can't even try to speed type of Salamence if it's not Scarf or anything. Magnezone's not really that useful anymore, so I'll sack Magnezone here. And I'll protect my Glalie. Pretty sure Earthquake plus whatever the Salamence wants to do is going to come out. I would be worried about Dragon Dance. Let's find out. The question is, who do I want to fake out later? We haven't seen the Z come out. Either one of these Pokemon can be Z. We're going to see the Garchomp switch out, though, into the Muck. So, looks like I'm not going to lose my Magnezone, which is great for me. My opponent, I hope, doesn't go for, like, a Dragon Dance here, because Dragon Dance is super risky. Although, I guess it wouldn't be the worst case. I just want Glalie to get knockouts. Here. Freeze Dry. Against Salamence, against Garchomp, Glalie has a decent time. So, let's see here. Glalie protects. And a Z move gonna come out. It's gonna be the Supersonic Sky Strike. Yep. So Z Fly gonna target down my Glalie. Perfect. That's not gonna knock out my Glalie, especially since I protected. I know it's gonna hurt a bit. Did Salamence ever get intimidated, or no? Salamence never got intimidated, so this is gonna hurt a bit, even through the protect. Oh, targets my Incineroar slot actually. So Magnezone quad resisting that. Yeah, that did nothing. Okay, and I can just go out into my Incineroar now and click Freeze Dry into the Salamence. Yeah, I like how this is developing right here. I was gonna sack Magnezone originally, but my opponent decided to make the double. So we'll go out into Incineroar. We'll see if the Salamence carries Protect, if it's faster than my Glalie. We'll find out here. I don't know if it's Jolly or Adamant, or maybe like mixed. It has a mixed nature, maybe it's like Naive or something. We'll find out. It's faster, so it goes for Fly. Okay. It's intimidated, though. Freeze Dry into that, and Recycle. Maybe my opponent thought I was going to target down the Muck there. That works out for me, I think. I can knock off the Muck. I think I'd rather U-turn, though. Yeah, I'm going to U-turn. And I'm going to Freeze Dry the Salamence here. The reason I'm going to make this play is because of the fact that I don't think fake out the Muck is important. As we're going to see the switch on to Garchomp, which is perfectly fine for me. So I'm going to get a knockout on the Salamence slot, unless we speed tie. We speed tie. Glalie going to take damage. Big damage. Why do we have to speed tie? It's not even Rough Skin Garchomp. It's Sandvale Garchomp. We're going to go Milotic here. At least we know it's not, okay. We'll get Milotic in here. Icy Wind, Protect. I just want Glalie to do something, and it's screwing me up right now. This is why they need to give Glalie a boost in speed. Give it 110. Give it 110. If it got 110, it'd be better. Protect. We're going to see the Rock Slide. Oh, I hope this thing is in Scarf. Fly is going to come out. I do get the Icy Wind off. Man, this seems dumb because if it is... I think it's better to go Incineroar and protect my Milotic. At this point, I'm going to have to get Glalie saved. Like, I'm trying to use Glalie. It's not working out because I'm not risking to Scarf Garchomp here. I'm going to get another Intimidate off into my opponent and get Fake Out pressure, so I have the ability to recover Milotic or get an Icy Wind off. We're gonna see the Garchomp switch out. Okay, so it wasn't Scarf because my Glalie switched out first. Okay, that's good to know. I'm not gonna come out. We'll protect with my Milotic, as we're gonna see the fly into the Milotic slot. Yeah, okay. Now I get a recover off. And I get to fake out the Muck. We're playing a slow game, but surely I think we do win in the end game, as long as nothing crazy happens. So Salamence can switch out, Muck can switch out. Either way, I think I'm fine because I get another Icy Wind off. I can U-turn with Incineroar. I can sack my Magnezone if I really have to, because I feel like Magnezone is still expendable in this matchup. I don't feel Magnezone helps too much. So I wonder what the item on the Garchomp is. Could be Z. Salamence was Z, so it can't use it. We're gonna see the Salamence switch out, which makes sense. Garchomp gonna come back in. I could have went for Icy Wind, but I'd rather recover just to be safe. So we'll recover here. And I'm gonna try to sack Magnezone again and go for the Icy Wind. Because I just wanted to get the Glalie in. Please let me get the Glalie in. I just want to freeze dry stuff. Even though we weakened my opponent's team to the point. But what's sweet about Salamence switching out is because it will give me a compare boost. Like, I'm trying really hard with Glalie, but it's not doing work, unfortunately, in this episode. Maybe I should have ran max speed, but then freeze dry is not going to do anything to, like, Feeny. Tapu Fini. I don't know what my opponent's going to do. I kind of stopped trying to predict my opponent a long time ago. Magnezone going to come out. Rock Slide. Okay, that's not going to do anything. My Magnezone is still alive. Icy Wind does come out. It does get the Garchomp. I think I'll just recover Gigavolt the Muck. Yeah. Poison Jab gonna target my Magnezone slot, which was Incineroar. We'll recover here and throw out the Gigavolt. I don't know, Garchomp switches out. I just want Glalie to do something, man. I don't think Gladie's doing anything. Because I think Garchomp might switch out back into Salamence. If you do that, I get the competitive boost, and then Icy Wind just finishes you off, and I don't have like enough speed control to deal with my opponent. But we're going to see the Muck switch out actually into Salamence. If I went for Icy Wind, that game was completely over. Well, it looks like Gladie's job is done, though. Well, actually, no. Since the Garchomp's at -1 speed, if I give out the Salamence, at least I'm able to get something. Okay. But I guess my opponent's going for Earthquake here. We will recover Milotic. Actually, no. You're going to Earthquake here. Yeah, okay. That's fine. That's fine. Glalie actually gets to come in and do something now. We get a freeze dry off. About time. Or I could just go. Actually, no. For a Salamence to do damage, I feel like it has to fly here. I'm going to sub up and Scald the Garchomp. Because one, I could see the Muck coming in. Yeah, I could see the Muck coming in. So, gonna Scald and sub and hope I can actually do something with the Glalie. We'll get a sub up. Hopefully, please. It's not been fun. Come on, Glalie. I want Glalie to do something. Yep, we're going to see the switch out. No surprise there. We're going to see the Muck come out. And we're probably going to see the Fly come out from the Salamence. And I actually would have won the speed test. I could have just went for the freeze dry. It goes for Zen Headbutt. What the heck? It has Zen Headbutt. Luckily it doesn't flinch me. Scald does come out into the Muck. Big damage. No burn. Since I'm not trying to lose this game in case I get crit or something, we'll go for the recover here, attempting a freeze dry into the Salamence slot. What is this team? If we win the speed tie, like, we're in such a good position. Even if we lose the speed tie, it's not that bad. Looks like we're gonna lose it. Zen Headbutt, but the target's on the Glalie slot, so. Well, Gladie's at least gonna get 1 KO. That's one good thing. So Glalie able to finish off the Salamence. I feel like Glalie has lost every single important speed tie. Either won when it was useless, or lost when I needed it. if it would have done more work. Recover gonna go off from the Milotic, so I'm even more healthy, and we're gonna see the double up into the Glalie slot. No, knock off. No, it does target the Glalie. So, Glalie, you got 1 KO. That's all I have to say. You didn't really do much otherwise. I'm down to my last 2 Pokemon yet. I should be able to just go for Fake Out and a Guard Chomp, because at this point I'm not even expecting Protect from my opponent. Did we ever see Protect? Get Incineroar, get this Intimidate off. I don't feel like we have. No, we definitely have not seen Protect. I don't know if this is a singles team now. It might be a singles team actually. I'm gonna Fake Out and Scald. Yeah, so a Muk decides to recycle. I can go for the knockoff and get rid of its berry, and then I 100% win. Guard Jump actually just goes down to the Fake Out actually, so we'll be able to get Scald off. And the next turn I can just Flare Blitz Scald and finish off the Muk. Yeah, it goes for a knockoff. That's gonna be good game to my opponent. So I don't know what this game was, but I mean, it was long. Glalie did something. That's more than I think I could have asked for in this episode. I just wanted the Glalie to get double knockout, double dragon. I had the opportunity. And then Glalie just lost every important speed time against the Salamence. That's all I could say. That's all I can say. But thank you all for tuning in to today's episode of VGC 2018 Baek Battles. If you did like it, please leave a like down below. Shows your support, as well as you can check out the rest of my stuff down below in the description, such as my social medias, the sizes of my channel, and all that will be linked down below, as well as the team if you do want to try it. The next episode will be the last episode of Mega Glalie. I don't know if it's going to do work or not at this point. I tried to make it do work in this game. It's done work in the previous games. Maybe we'll fight Rain, luckily, and Free Star will be able to do a ton of work. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. Have a great day, people. And until we battle again, I'll catch y'all later.